Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Who doesn't love fresh baked bread? And I've been making sourdough bread for a long time. In fact, my family has our own sourdough starter that we've had for generations, and we keep it going. And we enjoy making things with sourdough. Well, I recently bought a bread machine because I thought it would be an easy way to have bread whenever I wanted to. Well, then I started thinking, sourdough bread is so delicious, but it's a lot of work. Could I make sourdough bread in the bread machine? So I did a little research and I tried to come up with a recipe, and today I tried it out. Here's the recipe that I used to make sourdough bread in the bread machine. You need 1 cup of sourdough starter. Now when you're feeding your sourdough and some of it is discard, save up the discard until you have a cup, and then you have it ready to go to make bread. I used 1 cup of sourdough starter, 1/2 cup of water, 3 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1½ teaspoons of salt, and a teaspoon of quick yeast. I was surprised that the recipes for sourdough in a bread machine all involved adding yeast, because the sourdough is usually what contains the yeast and then you don't need to add more. But from what I've read, because it's a quick way to make it and you're taking away a lot of the hours of work of sourdough, that the yeast helps it make sure that it finishes properly to your liking in the bread machine. I decided to try it on the French bread setting. Mine doesn't have all kinds of fancy settings, but it does have French bread, and I put it on medium crust. Then you just turn it on and go do whatever you want, but try to keep track of the time because you want to take it out right when it's done. The wonderful thing about this Oster bread machine that I got for only $8 is it has a window on the top and you can watch it mixing, you can see it rising, you can see all of the steps that the bread machine does to make the bread. And so that is really fun. Oh, and then the smell, the aroma, the sensation that your sourdough bread is coming along, and here it is finally, it's ready. So you want to open up your bread machine, dump out your loaf of bread, and then you want to take the paddle out of the bottom of the bread. And yes, it does leave a little hole in the bottom, but that's okay with me. It doesn't affect the flavor and the enjoyment of bread by any means, in my opinion. And now look at this loaf. Look at how that's nice, has a nice crusty top. I think I should have just gone ahead and cooked it on the light setting on the crust, because it does have a little bit of dark spots around on the crust. But that's okay, I'm sure it's going to taste delicious anyway. Now the hardest thing is waiting for it to cool. But you want to let it cool so that it'll slice nicely, and then you'll be able to enjoy your sourdough bread right out of the bread machine. I don't know about you, but I'm busy gardening and I've been repairing my rock wall, and I just have all kinds of things to do in the summertime. I don't have time to just stay in the kitchen working away on bread. In the summertime, if I still have some energy left and strength in my hands, I use it for pulling weeds and working in the yard. And so bread just goes by the wayside, even though it's such an enjoyable food to have in your home. Let's go ahead and slice into this and see how it turned out. Oh my goodness. Yum, look at that. Mmm. Yum. If you have a bread machine, you definitely need to try this. If you enjoyed my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might like it. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.